Hello, everybody. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I'm kind of getting a new system kind of set up here a little bit. So let me know if you guys can hear me a-okay, first of all. So second of all, you'll notice that I kind of have some new background here. I ended up getting brand new office furniture. So not quite done painting the back walls yet, but for the most part, we're all kind of caught up here and trying to get my office kind of in order. So if you guys can hear me, let me know with that chat bar. And you guys will notice that there's also a live chat on the side. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, please ask. Okay, you guys can hear me. Perfect. So how this is going to go, this class, first of all, I'm going to be offering more free classes here because I think there's so much information that at this point, I'm just going to start shooting videos. And so if you haven't subscribed to me on YouTube, I highly suggest you do, because my goal is to at least do one video a week. Most than likely, I'll probably do a few more than that. If you guys haven't followed me or you haven't subscribed to me yet on YouTube, go ahead and do that. Same with following me on Facebook. If you follow me on Facebook, great. I do post on Instagram as well. But for the most part, I'm really this next year in 2020 getting a lot more involved when it comes to the more live free workshops such as these, and being able to post more YouTube videos as well. So what's nice is that I've got 3 teenagers at home that seem to know a hell of a lot more about this than I do. So this actually works out really well for kind of all of us involved here. So first of all, if you guys haven't followed me or haven't heard about me, of course, I am Psychic Medium Kelly Miller. So I want to thank everybody for first tuning in, but also be understanding that today we're going to be talking about the basics when it comes to crystals. So a lot of times, and we have this happen in the office a lot or in the store, where people will walk in and they're like, hey, I've got this crystal, but I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, so this class is going to be one of those classes where we talk about the basics. Why I really like this is, again, you guys get to interact here. So with me, so if you have any questions, like I said, by all means, ask. All right. So first of all, the first question that most people ask me when we first started talking about crystals and things like that, the first thing they end up asking me is like, they literally come to me and they're like, I know I want a crystal, but I don't know how any of this works. So what I tell people is that look at the crystal, don't read the card, because us as adults, we're very logical. And so we want to read the information about the crystal first. And I tell people, you know what, throw it out the window. Don't do that. What you should do is, and you'll hear a lot of these, metaphysical people talking about like, oh, the crystal will choose you. Well, when you have 400 crystals like we do here at Awakenings, if not probably close to 600, the crystal, it's really overwhelming. So what I tell my adults is actually be like a kid. Kids are awesome about picking out the perfect crystal for themselves. So I always tell people, look at the crystal and then touch it and feel it. If it seems like it's a cool rock, or if it seems like it's a cool looking crystal, then most than likely that's the one that you need. So then go ahead and read the information about it. So the other thing is, it also depends on like what you want to use it for. So remember, crystals vibrate. Each crystal, each individual crystal, like from chrysocolla to say selenite, they all vibrate at a different frequency. And so it's the vibration that will correspond with our body to help align our mind-body-soul connection. It's a big triangle, is that mind-body-soul connection. So crystals help us with certain vibrational frequencies that might be a little off in our body. So it like I said, it kind of depends on what you need it for. So some people, for instance, like to bathe with crystals. And so I would tell you, rose quartz, by far some of the best ones. Clear quartz is another one that is excellent to actually take a bath with. So raw, especially taking a bath, raw ones are the best. So you don't want to take or put any water near selenite. Selenite is a type of salt, so it'll actually melt. So you don't want to do that. And then there's other things you don't really want to kind of take a bath with, such as hematite, things like that. So if you're even unsure, ask somebody here at Awakenings or even online. Just do your research, so kind of know what it is that you want for sure, what you want it for. Other people want to give them as gifts. and other people want to wear them, such as bracelets, earrings, necklaces, things like that. You'll see that I got a piece of rose quartz right here. So, other people want to use it for their office. Some people want to use it for their home. So it depends on what you want to use the crystal for. Like I said, do you want to carry it with you, or do you want to gift it away, or do you want to bathe with it? Do you want to wear it? What you want. So it really depends on what you're kind of looking for. The biggest thing, we'll kind of break this down. So bath, we talked about that. For the home, usually amethyst, smoky quartz, clear quartz, selenite, black tourmaline, amethyst. Those are all wonderful big chunks to put in the home. And that's where the chunky clusters and the chunky, bigger pieces should be put inside the home, and more like living room areas, bedroom. Again, depends on what you want it for. Selenite in the bedroom will help you to go to sleep. It really helps to kind of soothe and kind of relax you. Same with amethyst. But sometimes amethyst can amp up the dreams. So if you don't really want to dream, then maybe we want to switch that out. So again, it depends on what you want to use it for. If somebody's sick, such as they have cancer or something like this, maybe we want to give them something more detoxifying or more healing, which in that case is smoky quartz or amethyst are really good ones for that. So like I said, it really depends on what you want to use it for, is depending on what type of crystal that you want, for sure. Again, if you don't know, ask. I always really highly suggest people to ask. Yeah, so Don was asking about a hematite ring, and I'm going to tell you, hematite rings are excellent for people when it comes to anger. So what hematite does is when you put a hematite ring on and it breaks, it did its job. It dispelled the anger. It pushed it out and away from you instead of absorbing it and getting it in. So hematite rings are gonna break. If they break, those are the few ones that I'm gonna tell you to go ahead and get another one. And we'll talk about losing or breaking crystals here in just a minute. That's kind of the biggest one on that one. Kelly, that's a really good question. So Kelly was asking, can you tell the difference between a genuine crystal and a fake man-made one? Yes and no. And what I mean by that is some things such as opalite that we have out here, opalite and any like goldstone, blue goldstone, green goldstone, those are all man-made crystals. So do they still hold a certain vibration or frequency? They do, but they're not natural, like out of the earth. So it depends. So a lot of times we do have them here, but again, if people ask us, are they fake crystals? Yeah, they are, but they still serve a purpose too. So opalite helps to kind of open up that auric field, whereas like goldstone will help you with infertility issues. So it really, again, depends on what you want to use it for. So, so hopefully that one helps. So what I do want to talk a little bit about is that I really want to keep this kindergarten for you guys, because it really is that simple. Crystals are simple. So if you don't know about the chakra system, and I'm going to hold this up here, this is a guide to the chakra system right here. You can see these colors. Ooh, see the colors? So here's what's easy. Whatever's ailing you is the color that coordinates to what you need. So if you have hip, knee, foot pain, then we want to get a red or a black crystal. So if you have stomach, digestive issue, gallbladder issues, we're going to get something yellow. If we have a heartbreak, a loss, a chest, lung issue, we want to get something green or pink or green. So, and then this one, like if we have headache issues, it's going to be something purpley blue. We want to open up the throat chakra. We want something blue. So that's all I'm like, keep this shit simple, folks. Don't get it all complicated. So if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, I'm having an issue with anxiety, I'm probably not going to recommend something orange. I'm going to recommend something purple, blue, white, or gold. So that makes sense. So like I said, keep this simple stuff, right? So if you always get confused, go back to the chakra system. So we pass these out. These are free here at Awakenings. So as that, keep it all simple, right? So the biggest thing is that every crystal, for the most part, corresponds with the chakra system colors. So just remember the colors. So, because a lot of times if you walk in, you're going to say, hey, what's the best gift I can give somebody with like lung cancer, for instance? We're going to say smoky quartz, to detoxify. We're going to say amethyst. That's also another natural detoxifier. We're probably going to recommend something, and we'll say pink or green. So that way we give you the freedom to pick out what it is that you want, because intuitively you'll know what to pick out for your friend or for yourself if you're in that frame of mind. So that's why I'm like, you really don't have to think about it. It just kind of happens. They're like, oh, that's kind of a pretty cool looking crystal. But there you go. That's what you want. So a lot of times people will come and they're just attracted to certain ones and they don't know why. And I'll be like, oh, do you have a uterus? And they're like, no. I'm like, and that's why you like that crystal. So it's really funny because over time you can see why people pick certain things the way that they do. So even Curtis here and Karen and Kiana, I think people like that, they just can look at somebody and be like, oh, she got throat issue, and then they go right for the blue stones. So it's really actually pretty cool when you start to see how this is really connected. Okay, so any blue tiger eye? We do have blue tiger eyes. Can you get the crystals in all colors to keep the balance? Well, check this shit out, right? We got little crystal kits. Woo! So this one is, and you can see they coordinate with, check this out. Boom. They coordinate with it. So we also have, if you don't like these, and these are little flat ones, these are good for my healers, like people that do Reiki and things like that. So like my piece of sodalite right here, it even has a Reiki symbol on it the universal symbol for your throat chakra. So you can actually put it on your throat chakra. If you don't want to do that, easy to slip it in the bra. So sometimes these don't always fit so well in bras. So, and that's why I tell people, you stick them in your pocket. Doesn't really matter which side. So I usually stick them on my right side. So right pocket, right bra, sock, doesn't matter. So people like to put them in their purse. I don't care. So I just know after a while you get a lot of rocks and it gets a little heavy. So you may not want to do that. So there are no two crystals that really don't go together. I mean, for the most part, generally speaking, all the crystals can be kind of all put together. So you don't have to worry about if this crystal is going to, phase this one out or vice versa. So you don't really have to worry about stuff like that. So they, for the most part, they all get along pretty well. So, yeah, so Carol was asking if they cancel each other out. They don't, they really don't. There isn't any. Somebody's asking if labradorite is a good crystal to work with strengthening your psychic mediumship development. It is. That's a really good one. So labradorite's good. So is anything like amethyst is really good. Selenite's good too. So those are all good ones. Okay. So the other thing I want to talk about is we talked about that chakra system here just a little bit and how the crystals, the colors with the chakra system kind of go together, right? Like I said, we got to keep this basic. So the next thing is that after you get crystals, whether you get them here, you get them gifted to you, whatever, right? So the first thing you're going to want to do is cleanse your crystals. And so there's a couple different ways we can do this. So the first way that we can do this is by some good old sage and palo. Now, personally here at the store, we're constantly saging probably every day. And then we'll switch it up with some palo, and then we'll switch it up with some incense. So it doesn't matter what you use. Okay, so if you like the smell of palo, we're going to stick with that. Some people don't like sage, don't go with that. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you prefer. So this is a piece of palo. Now, what Palo Santo is and where we get our palo is from a really sustainable source. So it's been sitting in the field for like 10 years, and then they harvest it. So the longer it sits, the more oil it has and the better fragrance. And if you've never smelled a piece of palo, it's wonderful. So it's really kind of earthy. It's just a different smell to it. It's great. So somebody was asking what stone is behind my right shoulder. That's pink amethyst. That is rose quartz. So if you're asking, and then that's a big seashell. So, but like I said, you could do it with palo. So all you do is light this on fire, and sometimes it goes out. So we want to maybe get a piece of like charcoal or something to keep on it. Either way, it's fine. And all you're going to do is light this on fire, or take your sage stick and you're going to light this end on fire. You can see the thicker piece and the thinner piece. So we're going to do this thinner piece. So you're going to light this on fire. And then it's going to smoke. It's the smoke that you want for both of these, okay? So then all you're going to do is literally take your crystal and take your hand and waft it in the smoke. And if you don't like doing that because it gets kind of stinky, we're just going to you could take a feather, you could take your hand, it doesn't matter, and just go all the way around the crystal, turning the crystal and things like that. So what's really good about these is that you can kind of do your house with it too. So after you're done doing that, you can do your house. Now, what we usually recommend here at Awakenings is that every new moon is when you want to sage. So I'm going to tell you what, every new moon, cleanse your crystals too. Give them a smudge. Just give them a quick fluff and buff. That's all they really need. So the biggest thing is that after you get done saging, you don't really want anybody else touching them, because if they touch them, then they kind of put their hoodoo on it, and you don't want their hoodoo on your stuff. So, because I know a lot of moms are like, my kid grabbed it, I'm like, sage it. So, or smudge it, cleanse it out. So that's one way of cleansing. This is the most common, most basic way of cleansing your crystals, right? So another way of doing it is that you can bury it in the ground in Mother Earth. Now, this works really well for like anything for the root chakra. So anything brown, black, red, any of those root chakra ones are best buried in the earth. So here's the deal with this one. Don't forget where you buried them. I've done that before. Good Lord. Stick a flag or something in there. And really, they only need to be buried 24, 48 hours. Some people say 3 days. It's whatever you feel. I think 3 days sounds about right. So because in vibration or frequency, it's always 1, 3, 6, 9, 12. So 3 days seems appropriate. So the other thing you can do is that if you don't want to bury it in the ground because it's freaking frozen outside, you can also bury it in salt, not Epsom salt. Epsom salt is not real salt. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. So what you want to use is any other salt besides Epsom salt. So I don't care if it's sea salt, kosher salt. Kosher salt's good. It's been blessed. So pink Himalayan salt, table salt, I don't care. So you just want to bury your crystals for about 3 days and then take them out. You're good to go. Now, if you don't like to bury them, another option is to take your crystals and literally just kind of put them in your hand like this. Just put them in your hand and then run them underneath some water. So you don't want to use the water that you're draining, though. Let it drain, and Mother Earth will take care of it. So, but you want to take your crystals and you just kind of want to run them through some running water, or like in a bathtub water. Just run them, and just when you're doing it, make sure you're not really like obsessed or overly thinking about everything. Don't worry about. Here's I have a bit of an issue when people say, well, you need to set the intent of the crystal. I don't think you really need to, because it vibrates at a certain frequency anyway. So setting an intent is asking your crystal to do something. It's already going to do something whether you ask it to or not. Now, clear quartz crystals, that's the exception to the rule. But all these other crystals vibrate at a certain frequency. So I don't think you really need to set an intent. I don't think it's really necessary. So, but if you feel that you need to do that, you do your thing. So, but running water, another way of doing it. Really simple way. Another way is to do it with your breath or your intent. So you're just going to breathe into the crystals to cleanse them. And you're just going to take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And when you do out through the mouth, it has to be from that Buddha belly, right? Not the chest, deep. I want it deep. So you're going to take a deep breath in, out, and go. And you're just going to close your mind, and you're going to imagine the white light going from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet, all the way back up to the top of your head again. And you're just going to sit there and breathe into the crystals. And what that does is also clears them with the intent of cleansing the crystals. So not last, I got 2 more. So the other one you can do is with sound. So you can do that with a singing bowl. I got singing bowls. You can do that with a singing bowl. And the easiest way to do a singing bowl, I'm going to try to do this, so I don't know if it's going to work or not. You kind of want a flat palm. A lot of people want to ding it. You can ding it, but the best way is to go around this way. I don't think I can because my hands are kind of sticky. So, but you can do it with sound. You can also do it with either singing. Bells work fine. So you can go ding, ding, ding with bells. So because sound, or even clapping of the hands, because sound vibrationally will make things dissipate. So even going through a house, and if you don't have any sage, clapping your hands in the corners disrupts the residual energy that's there. So you can still do it with bells, with singing bowls, even clapping your hands. Chimes also work. So if you got some chimes outside, those work too. So that's another way of doing it. Now, the last way that's doing it that I'm going to tell you is my way of doing it, because let's be real, I'm lazy and I don't want to do all this shit. So the easiest way to do it is to literally get a cake pan, put your crystals on the cake pan and stick it out in the full moonlight. So you can also charge them in the sun. But what I love about the moon is not only can you cleanse them, but you can charge them as well. So full moon can do both. It's kind of an exception to the rule here. But the sun can also do it. But I'm going to caution you, you don't want to keep your crystals out for more than about 4 hours in the sun, especially with selenite. And I got a piece of selenite here. So selenite is this yellow one. And then the other one would be like amethyst. So because these will fade in the sunlight. So you don't really want to put them out in the sun. So that's what makes it so nice about the moon, is because when there's a full moon, stick them on the pie plate, throw them outside, call it good. So like I said, don't get all techie with this shit. Just keep it real simple. The easiest way is the full moon. And for the most part, if you guys follow me on Facebook, I'm going to be like, hey, it's a full moon. Stick your crystals outside. They're like, oh yeah. So it doesn't matter if it's cloudy outside. Doesn't matter. It'll still work. So, and if it's raining or snowing and you don't feel comfortable doing that, especially with pieces like selenite and halite, because it is, like I said, it'll melt. You can stick them on your windowsill. That'll work too. And if you can't do that, then you can still stick it on a pie pan. As long as the moonlight kind of hits it a little bit, you're good to go. So those are some easy ones that you can do to help cleanse those crystals. But like I said, the other one is that you want to charge them. So first we want to cleanse them, get everybody's hoodoo off of it and get it back to kind of a natural state, right? So the second thing we want to do is charge them. Now charging, you have to imagine these things are like, they're living things too. And so just like plants and animals, you got to feed them and water them so they thrive. So crystals need to be cleansed and charged. So to charge them, we just talked about that full moon. Another easy way to do it, selenite, good old selenite. There's a selenite plate right here for you. I think these are $19.99 here at Awakenings. So selenite is great. All you do, pretty simple. Woo, there you go. There you go. It's charging. Great. We call these actually charging plates. So, but selenite, even a stick of selenite, piece of selenite, will help to charge all the rest of them. So selenite, excellent. The other one you can do is there's like other, like you could charge other crystals. Like you can put a piece of citrine, because citrine and amethyst are mined in the same spot, basically put. So if you want to charge your piece of citrine, you put it on a piece of quartz. So like amethyst is quartz. So you can see how it's got points to it. So anything with points, you could put other crystals on top to help charge. So that's another way of doing it. Now there are certain crystals you don't need to worry about charging. Okay, black tourmaline's one of them. You don't need to charge or cleanse black tourmaline or selenite because they're rather self-sufficient. The same with citrine. You really don't have to cleanse or charge that one as well. That's a rather unique one where it kind of recharges itself. So there are certain crystals that you don't really need to worry about too much because they're pretty self-sufficient. And black tourmaline is definitely one of those. Which black tourmaline, selenite, citrine, amethyst, those are all basic ones that everybody should have in their arsenal. So that's what I'm like, if you're just even starting out, those are some of the basic ones I highly suggest. Rose quartz is another one that's a really good one. That's what I'm wearing for bracelets here. These are rose quartz. So things like that. So I'm going to go back to my questions here. Yep, somebody's asking me about salt. You can cleanse them more than one time, absolutely. So like I said, remember the full moon's going to cleanse them anyway, so cleanse them as much as or often as you need to. And I'm going to tell you what, if you're just sitting there and you're like, wow, I should probably cleanse my crystals, and it like pops into your head, it's not willy-nilly. That's your intuition telling you you need to charge your crystals. So if stuff kind of pops in your head, pay attention to it when it comes to your crystals. So that's really how you're reading the crystals. I hear that a lot, but that's what you do. It just lets your imagination go. So a lot of times, if even in a meditative state, it's great to have some of these crystals while you're meditating because you really get to tune into the energy of the crystal itself. And so, and other things, you know, what resonates with one is not going to resonate with the other. So you really got to get to know, you know, who you are let alone like what's going to work for you. But again, if you're attracted to it, if you think it's a cool little stone, that's what you need. Just go with it. So yeah, somebody was asking if they should send their like pendants out. Yes, everything that's crystal. So that includes my little necklace here. That includes bracelets. That includes earrings. Anything that's crystal in my house is going to get charged with the full moon. Anymore, it's getting a little tedious because I got a lot of stuff. So it's one of my kids. So it's like a lot of pipe hands. So black obsidian is one. I don't think you need to charge and cleanse it, but I would tell you do that one anyway. I still do with my selenite anyway, even though you don't have to, but I feel weird not doing it. So I just do it anyway. Yes, they can be on the windowsill. I'll tell you, June is asking if you could put your crystals in potting soil. And I'm going to tell you no on that one, because remember, you want the soil from Mother Earth. Potting soil is like a little of this and a little of that and a little of this and a little of that. It's not grounding enough. So, I mean, I've heard people that you can. Another way, I'll tell you, instead of putting it in the soil, if you put it on your plant, that will also help to charge it. So there's certain plants that you can actually put your crystals on to help charge. So, because remember, plant's a living thing too. So you can charge it with your plants. Yes, Kelly, that's a great question. So Kelly was asking if you can use crystals in water. Yes, absolutely. And you can drink out of it too. It's called an elixir. So anytime you add crystals to water and you drink it, the property of the crystals gets ingested. So it actually, what I find fascinating that I have tried and I was actually quite blown away with, is that if you put crystals in your water, like literally just throw some crystals in there and leave them in there for, say, a couple hours, and then you drink the water, it changes the flavor of the water. It's not the stuff that's in the water. It's actually the vibrational frequency of the water. So when you drink it, the taste changes. It's very strange. Even if you don't put it in your water, if you put it inside of a pyramid, if you put your water inside of a pyramid, it will charge the water. It will purify your water. So it will change the taste of the water too. So you don't even have to put it in there. And there's certain things, like I said, you don't want to put a hematite in water. So do your research first. Know which crystals work well with others. There's also things that like VitaJewels that we have here that have the crystals in the water, but it's protected with a piece of glass. And even having the water in there and sitting it in there for a few hours and then taking it out is pretty amazing. Like I said, it really does change the taste of the water. Kind of weird. Okay. Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying. Be careful with what type of crystal that you put in that water. Again, you don't want to put the toxic ones in there, such as hematite. Anything that contains lead, obviously. So you don't want to do stuff like that. Are we good at crystals? Yes. Okay. So I want to talk about if you have a crystal that it breaks or it gets lost. Okay. So first and foremost, the best way to get a crystal is gifted to you. So what I always tell my peeps is that if you have a crystal in your pocket and you feel the urge to give it to somebody because you think that they need it, give it to them. So they can cleanse it and charge it when they get it home. But either way, gifting a crystal to somebody is actually the best way of receiving a crystal, is one that's actually gifted to you. Same with tarot cards. The best way to get tarot cards is gifted to you. So, so that's really going to help out. But yes, June, anything with ITE is usually salt, so you don't want to put that in water. And Jamie was asking, can I use mugwort to smudge? Heck yeah. So mugwort, incense, palo, I don't give a crap. Whatever your flavor is, it's the same intent. It's all good. Okay, so like I said, if you feel the need to give your crystal to somebody, and I know that sounds so weird, give it to them. I've done it hundreds of times over where somebody walks in or I'm out and about and I'm looking at somebody and going, oh my gosh, their heart chakra is just broken and I've got a piece of rose quartz and they need it. So I literally just give it to them and they're like, thanks. But then in a weird way, they're like, oh, wow, this feels good. And I don't know why. I'm like, just keep it. So, so best way, gift it if you can. The other thing is that if your crystal breaks, and you'll notice that chipping it is one thing, because a lot of times putting your crystals in your pocket, they might chip a little bit. That's okay. I'm talking about the one that literally like breaks in half. So if it breaks in half, that means to tell me that vibrationally speaking, you no longer need it. It served its purpose. So then what I would tell you to do is stick your piece of your broken crystal, stick it on a piece of selenite to charge and heal, and then gift those 2 pieces away to somebody else. All right. A little bit different. If you lose a crystal, and I would tell you, if it breaks, if you come into the store and say, I've lost my crystal or it broke, I'm going to tell you to get something completely different, because that means to tell me, again, vibrationally speaking, you no longer need it. So there are days, and you're going to see that you're going to have your crystals out, and then it's weird that you're like, well, where did my rose quartz go? I had it here the whole time. And I'm like, probably spirit took it and you don't need it anymore. So, and it will reappear if you need it again. Most of the time it won't, it'll just disappear. So, so those are the ones that I'm going to tell you you don't need. So we're going to choose something different. So remember the chakra system. If it's a rose quartz because they wanted it to help heal their heart, well, maybe we need to get them a piece of rhodonite, because rhodonite's better for relationship stuff. Or if they want it for grief, then maybe we're going to do a piece of green avertine to be able to maybe help heal that heart chakra in a different way. So we could still use crystals. We just have to maybe switch up the type of crystal that we use. So like I said, the biggest thing is you want to gift your crystals away. And I know that sounds so weird, but it's just the same by you buying one. It doesn't really matter, but the best crystals are actually gifted. So, but I know a lot of people that come in and just buy different crystals for different reasons. And again, it depends on what you want to use it for. Do you want to use it for your body to heal? Do you want to use it for your thoughts, for your spirituality, for your house, your home? What do you want it for? So usually we're going to ask you, okay, what do you want it for? You know, we're going to ask you a few questions so we can guide you to what's going to be, you know, probably the top 5 that you should pick. I never pick out crystals for people. That's your job, not mine. My job is to be like, out of these 5, pick one. So I'll help you narrow it down. Everybody here at Awakenings will do that for you, but we're not going to pick it out for you, because you have to be able to do that, because you're the best person for the job, looking at them, picking it out yourself. So, okay. Somebody's just like, oh my God, my onyx did that to me. It was gone for almost 2 weeks and then it just showed up again. I'm like, yep, that's what happens. It is the weirdest thing, but that's exactly what happens. If you don't need it anymore, it will disappear. But when you need it, it will reappear, or somebody's going to gift you one. So it's actually pretty cool how it works. So yep. So a lot of people are telling me that their crystals just leave and then they come back. I'm like, yeah, they kind of do. It's weird that way. Best crystal for heart problems. It depends if it's the heart for grief or for your love life. So the best one for grief usually is good old rose quartz. But if it's for your love life and a broken heart, then maybe rhodochrosite or rhodonite would be one of the better ones for that. So for remembering dad's keys. So I think that would be amethyst if I'm remembering right. So hard to handle 78. So I think if I remember right, I'm going to tell you amethyst on that one. So and when I'm talking spirit, I'm talking general, meaning that it could be your grandpa, your dad, your spirit guides, your angels. There's a lot of different people as what I'll refer to as spirit. So I always tell people, don't worry about who you got to talk to, everything. I'm gonna just go to the source, ask God. It's a lot easier. So, or universe, or whatever verbiage you want to put in there. So, but the biggest thing is just ask God. They'll send the right person for the job. Don't sweat it. So, okay. So outside of all of that, I really want to kind of answer questions. The other thing that I'm going to do another video on, I'm not going to really go over it at this point, is crystal grids. And so certain crystals work great for crystal grids, and we'll talk about that in a whole nother video, because I'll do a video on just crystal grids for you guys, because it can get a little complex. So heart issue, medical, clogged arteries. So Bonnie, that's a good old rose quartz for that one. Absolutely. So the other one I would recommend for heart stuff would be bloodstone. Bloodstone is good for the blood. So bloodstone would be another really good one to kind of sneak in there with that. So, and then another one for, that one would probably be that smoky quartz as a detoxifier. Best crystal for weight loss. I shot a video on that one here not too long ago. Amethyst, iolite, citrine. Crap, I can't remember the other two. That. So, but I shot a video on that one. The best one for anxiety and depression. Ooh, that's a good one. So best one for anxiety. Boom, amethyst. I'm going to tell you, amethyst isn't bad. Lepidolite is a pretty good one too for like we're talking panic attacks or people that might be bipolar. Lepidolite actually contains lithium, which is what they give people that have the tendency to be maybe bipolar or they can't get both sides of the brains even. So amethyst, anything purple, really. Remember, we're going for the chakra. So amethyst, lepidolite, those are great for the anxiety. Now, depression is going to be the citrine. So citrine, so depression, I'm going to pull this one up. So depression lies in your solar plexus. Anxiety lies in the crown chakra and the third eye chakra, both. So what's really cool is we have a crystal here. Remember how I said earlier that amethyst and citrine are kind of grown together in the same mine? So there's actually a crystal called ametrine. It's half amethyst, half citrine. And so that actually is the best one for anxiety and depression because you could do it both, kind of kill two birds with one stone, literally. So, but it's called ametrine. Like I said, half amethyst, half citrine. That is going to be the best one for both anxiety and depression. So it's funny because my husband doesn't ever like me to sell the ametrine because I'm selling one crystal and not two. So, but I'll tell you, go for the ametrine, okay? Okay, so crystal pain in the knee and the back, anything black or red. I'm going to tell you probably brecciated jasper is really good for that one. Onyx is really good, especially for guys. So that's going to be the best one for that one. Best crystal for the energy boost. Citrine is really good. Poppy jasper is really good for like a caffeine boost. So another one that's really good for like an upper would be, I know obsidian's really good for that one too. It's also very protective. A black obsidian helps from other people's like negative thought processes hitting you. So that's a really good one too. Yes, blue apatite for weight loss. That was it. So blue apatite helps with your appetite. So that's a good one. I knew that there was two that I was missing. That's the other one. Kelly, we are getting more crystal pop sockets. Oh my gosh, we have this guy named Joe, right? So we had to really encourage him to do this, but now they have flown off of our shelves. So he makes literally crystal pop sockets to stick on the back of your phone. They are amazing. So we're going to be getting some more in, not this week, next week. So probably Tuesday. If I had to stick a date on it, I'd say probably Tuesday. So I'll blast it on Facebook when I get them in. So again, if you guys don't follow me on Facebook, please do so. It's psychic/medium Kelly Miller. And then also follow Awakenings as well. So that's the store that I own with my husband here, the crystal store. So, yeah, can't wait for the crystal grid video. Yes. You guys can order from me. It's awakeningstore.com. So, and then you just go to the information. And like I said, right now we have hundreds listed on the website. I don't know. I think last I knew, Eric said close to 2,000. So, so we're getting there. So protecting the spirit from other spirits. Bone, I'm going to tell you, the best one is that black obsidian or snowflake obsidian or rainbow obsidian. Obsidian is the protector stone. It really does. Black tourmaline's a great one too. So either one of those two are great. Let's see. What's a good crystal for empaths? Okay, so here's the deal with my empaths. Ready for this one? We're going to go back to this. So my empaths suck on this one and this one, but their heart chakras are huge. So when it comes to your solar plexus, which is the yellow one, you guys have the tendency to blow out your gallbladders all the time due to guilt, okay? So that's the yellow one. So same with your throat chakras. You always have thyroid issues, my empaths always do, because you don't speak your truth. You don't say no. So empaths and no, that word seems to not really go well together for you guys. So the biggest thing I'm going to tell you is speak your truth. So, but you're going to have issues with both of these naturally. So we want to get a blue stone, a light blue, like blue lace agate or kyanite. And then we want to get some that's yellow too, like again, citrine, yellow quartz, honey quartz. There's lots of different yellow ones that you could pick from. So those are the two that are going to need to be amplified. Whereas when it comes to an empath, your guys' heart chakras, bar none, have got the best heart chakras out there. You guys truly do. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, my empaths are a 10 for the heart chakra. The problem is that it's so open that when you guys go shopping, you are exhausted, because anybody that feels the heart chakra open like that with you guys, they're gonna like you guys are like a juicy steak. They're going to come just suck you dry. They're going to come get you. So you want to take that heart chakra and tone it down a notch. So remember, chakras can be open too far, or they can be really closed off. So the biggest thing for that one is that you kind of want to shut that heart chakra down, at least when you're freaking shopping, okay? So those are the rose quartz ones that we can kind of help to kind of keep that closed. The other one is black tourmaline. It's going to help keep your auric field a little bit better buffered, so the negative energy vampires can't get you so bad. So those three are the ones that I'm going to suggest you. So the blue lace agate is really good for the throat chakra. The heart chakra, again, the rose quartz or anything green. Jade is another one. And then again, anything yellow for the solar plexus to help with the digestive issues that my empaths always have issues with. So hopefully that one helps out. What would I recommend for a child for ADHD? Number 1, outside time. Number 2, limit the amount of electronics. Number 3, the best crystals are going to be, oh gosh, I got to think about that one. So I know amethyst is really good. It depends on if it's a boy or a girl. So because if it's a girl, usually the purple ones are going to be the better ones. If it's for a boy, then we want more like tiger eye, because when it comes to ADHD, believe it or not, for girls, it's here. For boys, it's more here. So that's what's more imbalanced. So women naturally hold the tendencies for these chakras very high, and these chakras really low for men. So in ADHD, sometimes they get a little flipped. But we all connect with the heart chakra. So, boys, so I'm going to tell you, like I said, the best ones, gosh, that was just escaping me. I know they usually gravitate towards onyx, hematite. They usually go for the gold tiger eyes, a really good one, but anything to ground their butt down. So anything really black or red, but almost always they go choose, and pyrite's another one. They almost always go to the same type of crystal every single time, because again, kids know. So what I tell parents is the best way to give a kid a crystal is have them come to the store. And I know that scares a lot of parents, because we're like, oh my God, you guys have glass and a bunch of crystals. I'm like, it's fine. So because believe it or not, kids in here have the tendency to be actually pretty good kids, because the energy is really relaxing and woo-saw. So they usually don't act up here. So let them choose their own crystals, but tell them, okay, you can only pick 2, and it will take them probably less than a minute to figure out what they need. It's that fast. So let them pick it out. Kunzite's okay for ADHD. Kunzite is better for bonding mom to the child. So if you want to give a gift for like a pregnant woman, or somebody who's getting ready to have a baby, or somebody that had a baby, kunzite's a really good gift. So especially with bracelets, those are really good ones. Okay, best crystals for forgiveness and resentment. Blue kyanite's a really good one. Amethyst is good for that one. Selenite actually is a pretty decent one. Chrysocolla, that's kind of a greener stone. So chrysocolla isn't too bad. I'm trying to think of what else. Moonstone wouldn't be bad because it balances you back out emotionally speaking. So, so hopefully those kind of help you out, guys. So do you guys have any other questions really when it comes to crystals or anything you want to know? Like I said, we kind of went over everything, but the biggest thing is, like I said, this one's kind of that basic. So shapes don't necessarily matter when it comes to crystals. They do, but they don't. So I'm just talking about the crystals that are going to be more for you. You know, if you want to, like I said, gifts are better given for the more the tumbled stones, the bracelets, things like that. We also have hearts. Hearts are awesome for gifts. People that are maybe sick in the hospital, we have angels as gifts too. So those are another good one. So, so that's usually the best one here. Let me just check. We are open tomorrow. Best. Yes, Albert was asking if they have any actual discernible effect. They actually do. Because, I mean, if you think about it, you have quartz in your watch. I mean, so it does have an effect. I mean, it has a purpose. But like I said earlier, vibrationally speaking, every crystal vibrates at a different frequency or a different hertz. And depending on what's off on you is what's going to help align or balance out what's off. So remember, your kidneys vibrate at a certain frequency, your liver vibrates at a certain frequency, your heart vibrates at a certain frequency. So these body parts vibrate at different frequencies, and the crystals that you're attracted to help to align vibrationally, like I said, the crystal. So like your crystal pyramid, yay! So those are, I can't hardly get any more of those bigger pyramids in. The only ones I can get in now are the copper pyramids. For now, we're going to go to Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. Eric and I are at the end of January. And so then I'm going to have another one of these free things, so like this that I'm doing, and then I'll be able to sell you guys the crystals, or at least show you or unbox for you what we find in Tucson. So when Eric and I go, we actually fly down there and we come back with a U-Haul full of crystals. So we actually come back with a lot of crystals. So so that's always the big one when we come back. That's our big show. So we usually, like I said, come back quite literally with a huge amount of crystals. So is turquoise pendant good for speaking with the departed? It is, because it helps to open up your throat chakra to aid in your clairaudient or the ability to hear spirit. So yes, that does help. Red onyx helps with any, especially hip pain. So anything with knees or hips, red onyx really helps with that one. I don't know. Nope, I don't have any red onyx in the store. I'm going to see if I can find some of that in Tucson. That's actually a pretty good one. I'm surprised we don't have that one. Hell, I got one of everything else. I don't have that one. Oh, so now I get to go searching. By the way, I'm going to give you guys my phone number. My cell phone number is 402-237-0080. So while I'm in Tucson, if there is something you want me to find or pick up, and that, like, we were down there and somebody texted me and said they wanted a labradorite Ganesh. I'm like, a labradorite, where in the hell am I going to find I'm like, okay, I'll find one. So sure as heck, we went to go grab a beer. We come around the corner, there's a labradorite Ganesh. I took a picture. She said, yeah, I don't like that one. I like the other one. So I sent a video then of a couple others, and she pointed out the one that she wanted. I sent her an invoice. She bought it. I brought it home. So it's really easy to do. So there's something particular you guys are looking for, I can find it. I really can. Tucson has everything. So let me know. Like I said, just give me a text. And let me know, and I'll put you on the list. And if I find it, I will text you and let you know, hey, I found it. I'll let you know the price. If you don't want it, I don't give a crap. We're not out anything, because we always have one day there where it's just kind of a free-for-all where I go shopping for our clients. So, and if we need to spend another day, we can. It's not a big deal. So, good crystal for addiction, for detoxing. Believe it or not, the best one for that is amethyst. The second best one is smoky quartz for the detoxing factor. Smoky quartz is a quartz that you do want to cleanse more often than not. Same with jade. You are going to notice that sometimes jade will actually change color on you. That is normal. It's adapting to that vibrational frequency for you. So, somebody's asking if you're born with the ability to see, speak, hear. I will tell you, everyone is born with the ability to hear, see, know spirit. It's our parents that usually tell us that, you know, oh, you don't see that, or oh, it's not real, or somebody outside of the home, or we see it on TV. That's usually when it gets kind of tapped out. Usually we keep it on until about the age of 5. It seems like when school starts, it kind of goes away. And then about the age of 19, 20, 21, it kind of pops back on. Some people, it's not really going away. Those are my kids who are ADD, ADHD, and autistic. Those are children who are highly intuitive like me. So that's why we have a harder time in school, because school is for logical people, not magical people like us. So that's why we have trouble in school. So because we already know what you're going to say before you say it. So yeah, we get the gist of it. Let's move on. And we don't want to sit there and regurgitate something that you already just taught us. So because if we know that we won't need it in our own lives, it's irrelevant to us. But yet we get ostracized if we don't get A's and B's because we don't know your material. Well, we're never going to use it for the rest of our life. So why do we need to do it? That's why the school systems need to change. That's why we have indigo people like us to change that shit. So it's getting there. Okay. Yeah, math, right? Like they always say, oh, you're not going to have a calculator. I'm like, really? We have one on our phone. Matter of fact, I got a best friend who's an accountant. I'll just ask her how much to tip. That's the only time I ever need it anyway. It's to tip. And even then I can do that in my head. Not well, but I can if I have to. So good dreaming crystals, anything white, clear quartz is good, anything white or purple. Those are your best ones for dreaming, because it really helps to help you to astral travel so you can kind of remember a little bit better. Joel is asking what I would put under the bed for giving Reiki. I'll tell you, I would get a big piece of clear quartz in raw form, like with the points. And I would have that sitting underneath, because you can use that energy to move it. The other thing is like a crystal pyramid would be also too. We want to move that energy out and about. So, but a big old chunk of quartz, oh, that would work great. Again, pyramids. You could use pyramid crystals depending on where they lay at, where their chakra system's at. That's another way of doing it. So, like I said, that's another great way of doing it. You can also use crystal wands for you doing healing energy. And we do have some crystal wands here. And the wands help to move the chakra, move the energy of the chakra that may be blocked, or just to kind of move the energy, get your energy moving. So that helps too. What's a good crystal in the classroom with autistic children? We do pretty well. So autistic kids, they have the tendency to really gravitate towards my amethyst. So big chunk of amethyst is good. The other one is a black tourmaline, because black tourmaline is very grounding. It also rids negativity, so the energy in the room feels better. So black tourmaline is great. And I'm gonna tell you, if you have ADD or ADHD kids, you want to sage pretty often, because we're hypersensitive, meaning that that's part of our ADHD. We are hypersensitive, but we're sensitive to everybody's energy too. So you want to really make sure, especially my teachers, I know that you guys can't use sage or palo very often. So we do have sage spray for stuff like that. So sage spray, that's another really good one to help you kind of keep the energy cleared inside the classroom setting. So the best migraine one is going to be, still going to go with the amethyst, because it's going to help. Ooh, that's a good one. So, because, yeah, it's still going to be amethyst. Camerite would be another really good one for migraines, because here's the deal with migraines. Migraines are people who have perfectionism or OCD issues. Almost always my teachers, right? So, or my nurses. So the biggest thing is that you want to work on those core issue first, which is letting go of the perfectionism issue. But amethyst and especially camerite will help to kind of ease the brain a little bit, so we're not so, anxiety ridden. But anxiety, perfectionism, and migraines go hand in hand all the time. Those are the three that always go together. So I would tell you, like I said, best one for migraine would be the amethyst, camerite. Selenite's pretty good for that too. I'm trying to think of my purple crystals. I can't think off the top of my head. I'm blank. See, this lapillidite would be okay. This is more any Curtis, right? Because he can just whip this stuff out faster than I can. So So any crystal to help sleep, the best one would be selenite. That's by far the best one to help you with sleep. I know that I got to make sure that blue lace agate is really calming. So that's a really good calming stone. You don't really want like carnelian or like the poppy jasper, like I talked about earlier. You don't want those around. Yes, labradorite's a really good one to help you with sleep. So that's also a really good one to meditate with too. So but the biggest thing is that you can put it underneath your pillow. You can put it, like I have a big selenite lamp. So you can have a nice selenite lamp next to you too, like on your end table or something like that. So that's going to help. Yeah, attracted to all crystals. Yes, so am I. That sucks. So, because pretty soon you're going to have quite literally like a cake pan full of crystals. And you're going to go, oh, I want this and this and this today. And that's literally all I do. I wake up in the morning. I'm like, oh, I want this and I want that. I know us girls like to match a lot. So the reason why you'll see me wearing a lot of rose quartz, and the reason why I wear a lot of rose quartz is for the empathy factor. It really is. I don't want to over empathize with people that are here in my office, because if I over empathize with you and I start getting kind of choked up and I cry, I can't do my job because it taps me out vibrationally speaking. So I've learned to kind of shut the heart chakra down a little bit when I'm doing my readings, so I don't over empathize with people. So that's a big one. So let's see. I'm gonna see if there's any other. La, 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 la. But those are the best ones. And like I said, guys, I'll be doing more videos when it comes to which particular ones that you should use for certain things. And that's what I'm saying, is that if you haven't subscribed to me on YouTube, make sure that you do, because I'm going to be launching a lot of videos. I can tell you a lot of these videos do not share. So YouTube and Facebook don't like to share. So that's why I want you to just make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube page, because that way you'll be able to get it in an email. I'll be sending some out newsletters too, so make sure that you subscribe to my newsletter. And that's on my page, psychic/medium Kelly Miller. So that's also on Facebook. And then you can also do it on my website, which is psychickelly.com. So like I said, the biggest thing is that everybody always wants to know where I'm at and what I'm doing. I'm like, make sure that you definitely want to get on the newsletter, because that I just send out one a week. I try not to do it. I don't like it when people bombard me with a bunch of crap in my email all the time. So I try to do that just about once a week. But I'll make sure to include the videos as well of what I'm going to be doing. So, because I'll be doing a lot of top five crystals for weight loss, top 5 crystals for migraines, top 5 crystals for anxiety. So those are the ones that I'm going to be doing. As a matter of fact, when I get done with this, I'm actually going to be shooting a video for the top 5 crystals for next year. So for new beginnings, because remember, we're entering into a new year. So, which really quickly, I'll tell you what they are. They're going to be chrysocolla, rainbow moonstone, citrine, ruby, it's going to be ruby or pink tourmaline, and then rainbow moonstone and amazonite. So those are going to be the top 5, because those are all about new beginnings and letting go of the past and having new direction. And that's really, this new year is going to be all about like letting go of your past. And if you're not letting it go, it is going to drag you. So like I said, after this, I'll be shooting another video. Then I got to edit it and do all that crap with it. So it'll be probably about another week by the time I get it kind of out and about. So, but like I said, guys, I want to thank everybody for coming and watching this free video. And I'll be, like I said, be doing a lot more free videos. So just keep hanging in there with me. But I really want to thank everybody for attending. And like I said, I'm going to be shooting out a lot more of these videos. Like I said, top 5 crystals for spirit communication, all that stuff. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and make sure that you like this video, because apparently if you like the video, it shows up better. I don't know, something like that. So it's all about the algorithms, right? So again, want to thank everybody for watching. Again, if you guys want to make sure that you get emails from me, go on my page, psychickelly.com. And then you can sign up for my newsletter, I think at the very bottom. So I just recently got a new website. So if you have trouble with it, you may want to remove cookies. Because like I said, I got a new website, so you might want to refresh that. So I want to thank everybody so much for not only watching, but also supporting me in this journey. And so I just want to thank everybody, and have an awesome new year. Make sure that you set your goals for your new year. It's going to be really important. So know what the hell it is that you want for next year. It's going to be important. So goals are big. I'm not a believer in resolutions. Goals. I want goals that you can achieve. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Take care and have a wonderful new year. All right. Bye.